Okay. Good afternoon. We're interviewing Ronnie Alec, Director Chief. Merci. The topic was um, boys coming into this world and becoming an adult and possibly a hunter. So that was the topic. Uh, Anything you would like to share with that, Ronnie?
A long time ago, when they used to teach me to become a man, a hunter, and not to be lazy. When I was young, they used to teaching me all those. When they get beaver, they put it in a hot stove, and once that beaver tail it's hot, they used to they used to use that on my back, just like take my shirt off, and they use that beaver tail. They it's just like a strap. They use that on my back about 20 times, and then sometimes when we go out for hunting, they used to make me drink. When you shoot a bull, a really hot blood, you used to take that under half a cup, and all those things that I went through. My father said that when you have a family, you won't be lazy. When you go out and do hunting, you do trapping, you do fireworks, all of those things that they showed me, they taught me, and they gave me wisdom. And now to this day, that's who I am. Is I go out. I used to set traps when my traps are still up there, up in Urger Lake, Talbot Lake, towards Talbot, um, towards fisheries, this side. That was 30 years ago. I left my traps up there, and it's still there. I used to trap the same time as old Matthew Michel. I used to go back up. We used to look after each other. We used to look after each other when we were trapping. Make sure both of us were okay. My my nephew Peter was trapping with us when Dad showing us. There was a guy named Steve Duchuk. Was We didn't know that area that he thought that was we're on his trap line. He had to argue with us when I was 10, and him and Dad got in a fighting. He took a shovel out of it, a shovel in the back. He started swinging on us. That was way back when I was 10 years old.
So,
That's
so then I guess you have to know when you're going out hunting, you have to know your boundaries too, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All these things that they where the trap line, where it's even my grandfather. When I was young, 10 years old, they had a cabin up there towards this side of the bridge. Before you go into cabin, that's the end of Auger Lake. The creek comes down. The cabin's still there. And way back when Mom and Dad and Enoch, Alec, and all of them were still alive, and they sat me down and they talked about the land. Where is the land located in the future down the road? They said, you're going to look after this land. And Johnny Donald crawled up to the cabin and he marked JD with the red paint. And then he crawled down, and that's when my grandfather, my mom, they were all there, my dad. They told me everything about the land, how far, wide. Until this day, the cabin is still up there, and Johnny Donald's signature is still there. And that, they used to go up from at 15 Mile Creek, him, Paddy Leon, and Casimir William. You go walk all the way up 15 Mile Creek, all the way up to Talbot, then past Talbot, they go walk all the way up to Helene Lake. The end of that lake, that's where the trap line is. From there and wide all the way down. And I know where it's located. That they stayed up there 2 days. They were bringing in fresh trout from up there. And Dad told Paddy and Casimir William to walk back down himself. He wants to stay up there 2 days by himself. And those days, there were a lot of stories they told me back then. And then that, just about 10 years ago, I got a video camera. And he was standing at Helene Lake talking about it. And all these years that him and Matthew and Matthew and Mom up on top of Pinkett, Talbot Lake.
Yeah.
They used to set traps on winter. Their traps are still up there till this day, back in 1950s. And Dad talked about those Berners Lake band. He said, he talked about them. He said, BS, in other words for it. It's not their land. The land belongs to Lake Babine. He talked about them, about the land. And they know, all of our people way back, how big and wide the Lake Babine land is. That's why our regalia, some of them's a real old regalia, Peter Alec. All the songs, why we have so much songs, why we have so much hereditary chief, because we were here before everybody. That's why Lake Babine has so many songs and so many hereditary chief. You guys out there think about the land that Lake Babine connected. We're all connected in one way or another. Nobody is different. Right up to Wauchotan, to Hazelton, all the way through this way, right up to Fort Fraser. And then you go up to Tache, Fort Pinche, Middle River, all the way up to Takla. We're all related. Those things that you guys need to know, what these things. And my dad, Mom, they used to walk trail up to, all the way up to Takla. When Dad talked to me about it, all the stories. And they taught me how to be a man. And I taught the boys how to trap way back, and I taught them how to Um, there was about three boys. Dad showed me in Olafort back in when I was 8 years old, and we went hunting. We went in towards um, towards Merson Lake, the lake that goes into the swamp back in there past the island. Um, in 1965, when me and Dad, when we dropped, Dad shot one moose right in the swamp. He showed me, just the two of us, without gutting it. We rolled that thing, took us probably about 45 minutes. Rolled it in through the riverboat. And then by the time we got to Olafort, people were standing there already with knives, with everything. We only took a hind leg and shared with everybody. That's how back then they used to share. And in 1988, 89, I showed Leroy Adam and other two, Darren Joseph. I showed them in the Sand Point when this bull was standing there. I got him right through the heart, the whole leg. And they said that when you shoot a bull, make sure there's about 2 of you or 3 of you. Because you trying to knock that bull down, some of them are pretty strong. They'll still stand up. They'll still trying to attack you. But I must have shot that bull about 8 times. He was still trying to attack us. Right in that lake. And then by the time 9 shot, and finally the bull went down. It's dangerous when you're out there hunting. And I taught the boys the same thing. That bull came out as far as the waist, right up to their waist. He came out. And finally he went down. And we waited 5 minutes, and finally with a riverboat. And I showed those boys, one of them holding in the front, and 3 of them jumped in there. I tried to push them. You 3 jump in there. One of them hold them. And then push it in and roll it in. They keep trying. I pushed them for about 25 minutes, 30. So I went and jumped in and I helped them push the whole bull in finally. And then these boys they were happy. And that was in October. And here we're coming back, and it was getting dark, and Joe Michel and I think whoever the other one person is, they were coming looking for us and coming around Penland Bay. And Joe said, "What took you guys so long? We're getting worried about you." And I told Joe, I said, "Flashlight, you got flashlight there. Look inside the riverboat." And Joe looked in there and said, without gutting, the whole bull was in there. "What did you guys use, a crane out there?" And said, "No. Those are the things that I did in my life." Even the winter time, all those, they did whip my back with that beaver tail. They made it hot so I can be strong, so I can show other people, young people. And that's what they did to me in the back. I had my hands like this, sitting on a chair, back, and Dad used that beaver tail and use that to whip my back so I won't be lazy and stuff. That's the thing that they taught me. My dad taught me a lot of things, and they become back then. They help each other with all their hearts. Nobody didn't pick on each other back then. Even when the potlatch comes, Adam Williams' place, they get together a day before they have meeting. They jump practice. There's Dad, Uncle Dickie, Uncle Joe, Uncle Frank, Adam Williams, and then there was me, my wife and Sophie were there, and there was quite a few of them in there. Norbert was in there. They were joking around. They were all having fun. And then they start drum practicing for the feast the next day. Back then, they respect each other. They respect one another in the feast. Day before the potlatch, they take it serious. They take it serious about these feasts in the potlatch. Dad told me that, and so many other, Uncle Dickie, Uncle Dan, Uncle Joe, they gave me a lot of wisdom back then. That's why today who I am. With all this name that I got, it belongs to Christine Alexander. He says to Mom, before he was going to go, he says, this name came from, belongs to Lake Babine, belongs to Babine. That's why he gave it to Mom. I was there. And then Mom took that name, Nasiyat. That's why now I'm holding it. Because we're all connected. We're big families. We have big families up in Takla, which I found out not too long ago. With them TG's family. That's my mom's sisters. They got sisters up there. The Abrahams, the TG's, the Alexanders. We're all united. We're all families. That's why today, whenever I drum, I always bring in Takla in here because that's our hometown. No matter where we are, we're all cousins. We're all family. There's a lot of things that I want to say, but I only have about 25 minutes here. I gotta go down to Houston, so, but I got more, a lot of stories. So next time, thank you very much for listening to me. Masai, Sauzi Kusai out there. Thank you again.
Thank you.